Welcome to the stage, Mr. Otis Bellinger.
Good day, everyone. My name is Otis Bellinger. I am the director and founder of the Building Better Men program in Detroit, Michigan. You know, this program derived out of my chaos. I mean, you know, the purpose came out of the chaos. And I became a person that says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to take what was given to me and try to make something out of it. Some people look at it as getting lemons, making lemonade, however. But you know, I'm just going to tell you about 3 life lessons that I've learned from my journey. But even before we do that, I just wanted to give a shout out. I want to thank Brother Cornelius Stafford and Dr. Ed Womack for inviting me to be on this broadcast today, from the bottom to the top tour. Just check that out, the bottom to the top tour. You know, those brothers and others who are on this broadcast understand what it's like to be on the bottom and not necessarily be on the top today, but at least have a blueprint to get there. You know, my story is a story of many young men throughout America. The only difference is that my story and their story might not always end the same. And far too often, a lot of young men who grow up in homes without a father, if my father walked there right now, I wouldn't know him. But a lot of young men who grow up in homes like that don't decide to say, hey, I'm getting ready to start a program so that I can work with young men that look just like me and help them with that pain. Nobody is meant to feel 50%. And what I mean by that is 50%. If you only know 50% of yourself, 50% in any urban school district in America, yes, even Detroit, is a failing grade. Don't nobody want to feel like a failure. And a lot of young males in urban settings always say these words at one point: why didn't this man want me? And those are some deep words, because I was one that said it, so I decided to do something about it. You know, daddy's issues is 99.9% of the issues dealing with a lot of our young brothers. I used to be a clinical director at a maximum security juvenile correctional facility. There, I would always see young brothers locked up for crimes like murder, rape, carjacking. And when I would sit in the cells with them and talk to them, 99.9% issues was anger as a result of that fatherlessness void they felt. So between listening to their stories, between my own experiences, I'm going to give you 3 life lessons that let me know, just as this tour from the bottom to the top, that let me know you don't always have to stay at the bottom. But you know, I used to go to school, I used to lie. I used to go to school and I tell folks, man, I got a pit bull at home and you know, my mama got all this money. When you know what, I was living a lie. I was broke and we didn't have no dog. Like, we had a dog at the house, but nobody knew what kind of dog he was. He was the ugliest, crazy looking dog ever. I loved him, but I couldn't tell you what he was. He could have been like, I don't know. I mean, it was crazy. A rat mixed with a chihuahua. I don't know what he was. But I love the dog. But I used to lie. I used to say, man, my daddy came over. He bought me a bike. You know what? Then as I got older, I said, hold on. And the number 1 life lesson I'm going to talk to you today about is I did not accept my crutches. Let me tell you about that. I didn't accept my crutches. See, my crutch was something that happened in my life. And I wasn't able to lean on it. In other words, I did not accept my reality. My reality was I don't have a father. My reality was as long as I cried, I felt a little better. My reality was I wanted to lie just to fit in. I didn't accept my crutch. I didn't accept my reality. And that's what made me want to create my own reality. And that's what happens with a lot of brothers. It's where they say, you know what? I want to create my own reality. So if I'm in this poor family, I want to be rich. Not rich in spirit, not rich in the way you bless others, but I want to be rich. So the number one life lesson, I had to learn to accept I had to learn to be able to accept my lot in life. My lot in life is that I was tall, I had a crooked afro, I stuttered a lot. I used to have to hit my leg every time I spoke. I never knew that one day, today, that I would speak all over the world. I never knew I'd be an author. I never knew that somebody would pay me to speak. It's amazing. So accept your crutches. If your life is what is, I'm not saying accept your crutches in the format that I'm going to accept it and let it dictate the negative things I do in life or let it breed excuses. What I'm saying is realize where you at in life, accept it, and then do something about it. You know what? A lot of people say, I want to be a motivational speaker. I will tell you, I'm not a motivational speaker. I never have been. Some people look at me crazy, but you speak and no. See, motivation without mobilization is nothing. You say, motivation without mobilization is nothing. I know some people out here watching this day have said, guess what? I'm going to put that last cigarette down, and did. I'm getting ready to lose some weight and eat better, and did. And the kicker, and Christians out here, I'm a Christian too, but let's keep it real. When you go to church, and you leave church, and you go, you know what? For the brothers out there, well, I'm not even going off into well, you know. I'm going to stop watching them movies. They got the X's. Come, stop it. I'm going to stop cheating on my tax. Stop it. We know. But you know what? It's understandable because you're motivated. You're motivated. But if you don't get mobilized, get off your butt and start making whatever it is that incited you to say, you know what? I want to be better. You got to be mobilized. So accept what has happened and do something about it. Stop making excuses. Get off your butt and get something done. You know, number two, the mindset. See, they got it right when they said the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Because some people be out their minds. I know I've been on my mind before. I've been in situations where I just wasn't thinking right. We all have. So what do you do to change your mindset? I mean, you got to change your circle. You got to change who you're around. One thing I do two different exercises every couple days. One is every morning I do an exercise called planned ignoring. Planned ignoring. I don't move a muscle. I don't. But what I do is I stand in front of the mirror and I say, today I plan on ignoring any negativity that comes my way. Today I plan on ignoring anyone that is trying to stop me from my dreams. Today I planned on ignoring even if it is, the closest family member. Because the person who's supposed to be your biggest cheerleader should not be your biggest adversary. So what happens? I plan on ignoring them today. I have to. Some may look at that crazy, like, man, you don't listen to me. You know what? You're darn right I'm not listening to you. Because you are part of my exercise for that day. So I plan to ignore any mess coming in my ear gates. We're talking about changing your mindset. But it's easy to say, but it's harder to do. What do? You got to talk to yourself in the morning. Some people say that's crazy. Let me tell you something. Some of the biggest thinkers in the world, where do you think they got it from? I mean, something had to ignite them to come up with that thought. And they have to every day say things to themselves. say things to themselves. Not because you just want to think you all that and what have you, but what it is, it's called reaffirming. So you got to say to yourself what you plan on doing. Another one, oh my God. You know what? I do inventory. I do inventory every 3 days. I write it down. One, what is it that I can do without in my life? I'm talking from food, people, everything. What can I do without? And that's hard. That's hard for me to go past Tim Hortons and not want that iced frappuccino with all them calories. That's hard. That's hard for me not to call my favorite cousin, who's just as funny as Kevin Hart, but I know somewhere within his bootleg stand-up comedy, he want to do something that's going to get us both in trouble. It's hard because I like my cousin. It's hard. So what needs to happen is this. You got to see your personal inventory. What can you do without? 2, what can you add to your life? What is it that you can add? What is it that you can say, you know what, this can enhance me. If it's taking another language, imagine this. If you're a speaker, imagine if you knew 2 languages. That opens up a whole nother stream of income for you, a whole nother set of influences. That puts you differently in the game. That means that you can play both offense and defense. You can play 2 positions or more. So what can you add to your life? What can you enhance? You might have to separate yourself. You might have to subtract some things to add some things. And the last part of that personal inventory, what is it that I should have never dealt with in the first place? Y'all know it. Y'all know it. I'm just getting a little personal with you. I was speaking to a group of about 700 women. I gave them all postcards. I asked them, how many of you all love your children? They all raised their hand. So how many of you all wish that you would have never met the men who bore your children? A lot of them raised their hand. They wrote it down. We calculated it. 70% of those women said that they wish they would have never met the man, which means they couldn't have had them children. I mean, so sometimes when you say, what can you do without, you have to understand there's something that brought some good out of that too. So I just say that to say, you got to think of what can you do without, and I'll tell you, a lot of times we can do without a lot of our bad habits. We can do without some sleep. I don't think you need to sleep 8 hours a night. I know scientists say that. I don't think you need to sleep 8 hours a night. I really don't. Some people operate off 6, 5. I mean, I'm not telling you don't do that, but you need to see, because you might need to get up a little earlier to get yourself, to get your dreams going, to get whatever it is you're doing going. And my God, remember the process. The third one is remember your process. Remember what you went through. And see, this is what decimates the inner city, the black community. We act like we didn't have a process. We act like we just woke up one day and said, I'm the lawyer. Let me tell you, I know a young lady. Her father worked in the plant. And at night he drove a cab. He worked hard, not for himself. He wanted to put her through college. And it's something because after she became a lawyer, she never went to visit him no more. She acted like she got there on her own. We don't get there on. You got to remember the process. We're talking about 3 life lessons that I've learned that put me in a position that I am today, which means that I feel that I've been very blessed. But from the bottom to the top tour, you got to remember the process. You got to know how you got there, and then you got to help other people get there too. You can't act like you got there on your own. You know, when they say self-made millionaires, very rarely is anybody self-made. I'm going to do a recap. The number one was accept your crutches, where we talked about not making excuses, not just being where you say, I'm just going to accept my lot in life. I'm poor, so I'm going to stay poor. No, we saying for you to recognize where you are, accept it, and then go forward. Don't try to be something you're not. Man, listen, your socioeconomic level can change. You don't have to rush trying to get a quick dollar. You don't have to lie and cheat. Accept your crutches and make an opportunity for yourself. Number two, change your mindset. You got to change that mindset, which means that you're going to have to make some hard decisions. You're going to have to make decisions that put you in a situation. Some folks not going to like you. You know what? You might not be invited to the family reunion because you got some cousins you might have to cut off. People you might have cut off. You know who? Listen. I will tell you, one of the biggest lies ever told was when somebody tells you, you think you better than me. I heard it all the time. You think you better than me. And then what happens, you buy into that, and then that means then you do whatever you can to salvage that relationship with the person who told you, you think you better than me. Now, if you're acting like you're better than someone, that's a different subject. But if they saying by way of the way you live in your life, by way of you grinding every day, by way of you being very creative in your approach to life, working hard, wanting to move out of certain neighborhoods, wanting better for yourself and your kids, you think you better than me? No. What it is that you decide to make a different choice than they have. So don't get caught up in that. So in a part of changing your mindset, you have to change some relationships. And you got to understand. Matter of fact, you are better than them. In the facet of you're not more valuable to them as a human, you just decided to make better choices, better decisions. And guess what? It's not over for them because you could bring them up. And that last one, remember your process. Remember your process. You have to remember the process. Now, what do you do with all of this? What do you say? Okay, I'm looking at the bottom to the top tour. I'm looking at the speakers. How do I take what they're saying and incorporate it in my own life? I'll tell you what you do. Each of the speakers have their own platforms, have a social media presence, and basically what you're getting is you're getting a multi-level opportunity to connect yourself with some people who think just like you or similar to the way you think. So that means visit Dr. Ed Womack page. He has things going on all the time. Dr. Cornelia Stafford and the other speakers. See, the bottom to the top tour is not just relegated to this broadcast. The bottom to the top tour is something that is building, something that is making a mark, something that is telling you, you know what, you can make it. You gotta believe that you can make it. You gotta believe that. You gotta think that every piece of real estate that you step your foot on adds value. I don't care. You know what? I go into some meetings. It's people don't even look like me. I don't care. Wherever I sit is considered the head of that table. Not because I think I'm better. I'm just confident. I'll never forget somebody told me, you know what? You're not good enough. You're not good enough. And I thought in my head, it's not that I'm not good enough. You just a bad judge of character. No, I'm not going for that. I'm framing denial letters. I'm going to tell you, I have some denial letters. I decided to frame them because I want to know never again. I want to know that there's a piece of me that says I can do, but there's a piece of me that says no matter what, I have to win. So that's why we want you to connect with myself and the other speakers. Connect with us. My website is buildingbetterman.org. Buildingbetterman.org. Facebook page, Build a Better Man, Otis Bellinger on Facebook, Otis Bellinger on Twitter, on Periscope. Because you know what? I want to see you go from the bottom. No, matter of fact, no, I don't even want to see you go from the bottom. I want to see you elevate yourself to at least you can look down and see the bottom. And just as one of the life lessons, you can't forget what the process was. And when you get to the top, reach down and help somebody else. That's what you do. I am so humble and elated to be a part of this. And I hope to connect with you all. Check my website out. I got 2 books I published. Listen, one is 7 Steps to Promote Success of Young African-American Males. The other one is 100 Effective Strategies of Single Mothers Raising Black Boys. All that we are trying to do is build. I started off feeling like I was at the bottom, but now I feel like I'm at the top.
The Bottom to the Top Tour is not a moment, it is a movement. If you've been inspired by the powerful testimonies of the speakers that you have heard today, you have an opportunity to have your own copy of the new soon-to-be-released book, Testify. You don't want to miss the opportunity to read through the details of the stories, the trials, the challenges, and the triumphs of the 12 speakers featured on the Bottom to the Top Tour Atlanta. If you would like to bring the Bottom to the Top Tour to your local city and your local town, please dial 1-866-686-5836. Again, the Bottom to the Top Tour, not a moment, it's a movement.